Hey guys, welcome to the Capitol. Today we're going to take an in-depth look at Protostrike from Level 8 Games. Now, as far as in-depth reviews, here's how we're going to do it. First, we're going to talk facts, then we're going to show a little gameplay, and then I'll lay down my honest opinion for what it's worth. Then if there are any other entertaining glitches or deaths or other tomfoolery, we'll stick it at the end. So with that, let's jump in. Now, Protostrike is currently in beta for the US and many other economies, but it has been soft launched to the masses in Denmark, Sweden, and the Netherlands. Protostrike, as I said, was developed by Level 8, a pretty small developer out of Sweden. They've been working on the game for well over a year, and they actually launched alpha access just this January. And since then, closed beta has become available, and as of now, it's still available and will be for some number of weeks or months until they finally decide to fully release it stateside. The beta version of the app takes up roughly 400 megabytes of space, and details on price are TBD. So what is it? Well, Protostrike is a multiplayer-focused shooter. It's pseudo 3D, also known as 2.5D, 2.5D. And it puts you into 8-player, 3-minute death matches where players are ranked at the end according to how many kills, deaths, damage done, and other point-earning actions they have throughout that particular round. Protostrike puts all these players into 2.5D maps with large numbers of traversable objects, climbable buildings, collectible ammunition, and health items. Maps also contain satellites that can be triggered to enable temporary enemy tracking.
On your feet, soldier.
Weapons include pistols, shotguns, repeater rifles, and assault rifles. Each of these weapons, while using different mechanics and being ideal for different situations, follows a pretty standard similar format. Each will have regular shots, which come from tapping on the large bullet-adorned button in the bottom right. Pressing and holding said button will give you either a steadily aimed shot in some cases, or a charged up shot with pistols and shotguns. These weapons will also have some sort of special attack, which requires special ammunition, which is usually extremely limited and replenished via item boxes. These item boxes are going to spawn on timers.
Retreat is not an option.
The diamond button, located directly above your main attack button, will trigger either a leap in the direction of the thumbstick, or if you're on tiles with the same markings on them, it'll trigger a leap across gaps or onto buildings. This action comes preloaded with 2 uses, and they recharge over time. It becomes important early, and often, to know when and when not to use this card.
Cause keeps me going.
In terms of progression, it comes in the form of boosters and equipment. Both are obtained through crafting, using credits and materials that you've earned inside the game. Now, your character is going to have 1 weapon slot, 2 equipment slots, and 2 booster slots. And creating things to fill those slots will require some level of time, wherein you're going to refine materials that are awarded to you after each round, or spend coins, which are also awarded to you per round. You can have several timers running at once for refinement and equipment and booster creation, and you can help the process along using in-game currency, which can either be awarded slowly as you play or bought for 99 cents and up, as with most, quote, freemium games. Time for a tutorial. Okay, so we're going to touch the left side to move. And I appreciate the fact that it does not give me a solid thumbstick that I have to hit on my own. Instead, I get to choose where it's going to appear. That's kind of nice. Dashing is very fluid, jumping across gaps, jumping up buildings. Yeah, so we're going to charge our shot here by pressing and holding, but if you just tap furiously on the button, that's when you're going to get more of the regular shots. And that's what's really going to be key. Because you're going to come up against online opponents that are going to be... I have no idea how they're tapping so rapidly on this thing. But that's going to be a major thing when you're... once you're in the thick of it. You're going to have 2 charges on that dash. So using one to jump up onto the button is only going to... or up onto the building is only going to let you get one more good one in.
Nothing without ideals.
Leap. Fantastic. Special ammunition. Now, this varies based on what weapon you're using, but let's see what it looks like in action. Nice. So sort of a grenade launcher setup. Alright, now presumably we've spawned a couple enemies. So let's waste all our special ammo right away. Alright. My name is Capital. I cannot spell. Capital. There we go. Assault rifle. So this is what you're going to start off with, is this Sergeant Ross guy. Doesn't make a huge difference. Honestly, the characters are small enough on the screen and you're more focused on the enemies around you that you're not actually going to care too much about what your guy is going to look like. So here's our welcome case. These cases are going to be the main way that you obtain upgrades and fancy new materials to refine into things you're going to use later. This one gives us mod blueprints. Those have actually changed into boosters. They used to be called mods. Alright. So we are level 1. Let's see, loadout, crafting, store. Settings are extremely basic. Sound on, music on, HD, SD. They do have their own Discord server. I have no comment on it. Generally, I'll avoid Discord servers when it comes to these games because free apps and apps that are in beta tend to attract the most toxic players when it comes to communities like Discord servers. You can also link it to Facebook for some ungodly reason. I don't know the benefit of linking it to the game center, but rock and roll. You can see the loadout here with the 1 weapon slot and then 4 slots underneath. 2 for equipment, and 2 for modifications, now called boosters. It's kind of a recent development. The right-hand panel displays the contents of your active loadout, just like we were talking about. You can see the class of everything. You're going to be able to upgrade your own equipment, wearable stuff, usable stuff. There are mods that you'll be able to use in-game pretty effectively. It just takes a little bit of time to earn, a little bit of time to craft, refine basic materials, and all that. Starts you with 4,500 credits and 20 gems. Obviously, gems are the in-game currency, and you're used to seeing those in freemium games all over the world. So you're going to end up with a small amount of them. You'll go through them and say, hey, wasn't that nice? And then they're going to charge you 99 cents to get a few more. But you also earn them in-game. So, really it's just a matter of whether you want to spend time or money. And considering this is beta and they could very easily wipe everyone's accounts between now and the official release, I would recommend not worrying about purchasing anything inside the game. You're here to scope it out, look for bugs. Of which I found none, which was awesome. Track your enemies using sensor towers. That comes into play a little bit, but it's a lot more about reacting once you see an enemy. Alright, so while it finds players, you'll be able to join a warm-up game that means absolutely nothing, but gives you a feel for the gameplay. You're going to be able to run and jump and do everything that you could do in the middle of the match. It's just not timed. You earn no points, etc. But you can get a feel for it. So you see how they've got a lot of obstacles here. Even the tiniest little pillar can be absolutely crucial when you're trying to evade attacks like this. I was able to hide just behind that one little pillar, and that made all the difference. You don't necessarily have to waste your boost to jump on top of a building or duck around a huge wall. Alright, now the real thing. Gives you a countdown. You start with 2,000 health, 3 minutes. Alright. Since we don't see anyone, I don't feel bad wasting my boosts a little bit. I just want to get an idea of what's around here. Alright, now we got probably... You can see as he goes up the stairs, he's not able to shoot through even the smaller walls. So there are a huge number of obstacles that you can use for your advantage, and you better learn how. Pick him up. No, we cannot. 1 and 1.
On your feet, soldier.
Which is not bad. This is my first 2.5 dimensional third-person shooter, so I'm not too upset over it. Alright, take care of this sensor. Doesn't help me all that much, honestly. It's just about...
Nothing beats experience.
It's just about getting to them when they're here. And if they're distracted by another player, all the better.
Decades of training, scrub.
Oh, the leaping. So much leaping. Alright, go. Die. It's all free for all. There's no teams. So if you can corner a couple folks that are already trying to clean each other out, then you're good to go. I could take out half of this guy's bar before he even bothers looking at me. Which, by the way, you would change your target using that button just up and to the left of the main attack button. That'll actually swap targets for you, which is really handy when you're one of the people that are cornered with your fellow Protostrikers. Go, go. Maybe they'll kill each other. Maybe. Excellent. The trick is to swoop at the last second. Ah. What a pity. Watching some of the streams, they actually started streaming some of the beta content on Mob Crush. The official developers and some of the early beta testers were playing in quite a few matches. Some of these folks are really good. Disgustingly good. But for now, since we're in beta, it's a small pool, so I can hold my own occasionally. I need to get up this. Go up. There we go. Alright. Got tracking on. Let's see someone over the right. It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Match over. Did I at least make third? Let's see, once the match ends, it throws up your results. Here they come. Sometime. It's beta. I'm not about to complain about a loading screen. Way too much fun to complain about that. Hey, there I am. With my twin brother, who did significantly better than I did. But no one really has anything in their slots yet, so we really need to work on that. So you get iron ore, you get some credits. There are things that you can do with that. You can refine it into better stuff. All right, so you see that. That was a chest. It takes 2 hours to open. And you can go from rank 0 to rank 1 and get a case again. Every time you level, you're going to get a new rank up case. It's going to have increasingly larger rewards. And not only that, you've got the actual match-by-match rewards and a chance at a chest every couple hours. So if you spend a good amount of time here, there's a ton of upgrading you can do. A ton. And you better do it, because everyone else has. Especially once this goes live. If you jump on it day one and you really grind it out, then you're going to be top-notch in a week, no problem. But in the beta, we're all just sort of messing around. And you can be sure that if there's someone that's level, 50 plus, they're working for level 8. Alright, we're finding players. It's a different map, but again, you can see how many obstacles there are. So many things to jump across, leap over, duck behind, etc., etc. Satellites are in every match. Huge gaps to jump are in every match. Keep an eye on all these spawn points that it's sort of showcasing. It doesn't tell you exactly where it is in the map, but you'll be able to find it because the maps are not incredibly large. They're spacious enough for an 8-person battle, though. Alright, let's get down here. No, not 2, not 3. That's not good. Give me that health. Desperately need the health. And I need to change my targeting. Not sure how I jumped over the fence just there, but that's alright.
Get back in there.
Alright. Grab some extra health. You can see that it actually will overflow your health. It just slowly counts down. So you're going to start with that 2,000. If you grab a health thing, it's going to jump you up to, I want to say it was 2,300, but then it immediately started counting down. So, it's useful if you're right there in the thick of it and one spawns next to you, but otherwise, it's not going to do you a whole lot of good to grab one and then wander around. Best leave it. Oh, that was lucky. I make a fine vulture. Forget about your special attack. Definitely try to keep up with the special attacks. Of course, you're going to want your own special ammo, but it only spawns every so often, and everyone already knows where. But trying to keep an eye on when that special attack is going to happen from someone else, and then being able to avoid it at that second is going to be a real difference maker for you. A lot of evading. A lot of evading going on. Yes, I see you. I see you. Fighting 2 people at once is ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Oh, come on. If you're not going to duck behind something, I will. I know I need this help badly. Badly. Now we gotta focus. It can feel like a 3-on-1 fight sometimes, but honestly, whenever you're fighting someone and then another person enters that area, they're just as confused as you are as to who deserves to be attacked first. So, like I said, get it day one, build a strategy of some kind,
I don't think so.
and you're going to be tough to beat from there on out. And there will be a there on out, because I'm telling you, this game you are not going to uninstall. The beta client is free, you just have to sign up for it, but if the final product ends up being... if the final product ends up not being free, it's going to be worth whatever price tag they throw on it, to be honest with you. Buying the in-game currency will be a little annoying if you have to pay $6 to $8 for the final product, but We'll have to see what their plans are, because I'm not really sure. I've seen development streams, but honestly, they're mostly just gameplay. And it's mainly to drum up interest, and it's done so. But they didn't really go into too many details. Alright, I've got plastic and credits. Cool. No encrypted case that time. Plenty of XP. Yeah, ranking up feels fast now, but I know on the developer stream I saw a level 92 from one of the staff members of level 8, and that's gotta take a while. Still decrypting that case. It's going to forever. Yeah. So, that one's still in progress. That's fine. This is where equipment would be. This is where mods would be. So you can buy this, but one, I don't have the credits. Two, I don't have the interest because it's beta. Let's see what we can do to refine. So I have... You make synthetics out of plastics. And even that costs some credits, but you earn... I got 300 from... I got somewhere around 300 just for that last match, so spending that much to refine a few plastic pieces is not too bad. So that'll take 5 minutes, and then you can see that fast forward thing. I can spend 15 of my 20 gems to make it go faster. It's a familiar concept. If you want to do more, this one is infinite. It takes 5 minutes to craft something out of it, but it's infinite. And if you want to add a second or third, refinement tank or whatever it is they're calling it, then you have to spend to get that. So it comes down to money or time. I choose time for the sake of the beta. Well, join the game. It actually does find players fairly quickly for a beta. There can't be that many people playing, but I don't have the numbers. I'd be interested to see if this carries over to when the game actually goes live, but you could be sure I'm going to tell people about it. Because it's no fun playing this alone. Matter of fact, I'm not sure it can be played alone, because it doesn't fill in any spots with bots, as far as I can tell. It appears to wait until you've got 8 legitimate players. At least they fight like legitimate players. Maybe they're just really well-programmed AI with randomized names. Who am I to tell? Nope, gotta be around the wall. Took a special attack right to the head. That's not good. Not good.
No time to rest, soldier.
Let's get up here. Yes. I have extra health. What do you have? Oh. Sometimes you'll forget you're in a warm-up match. Alright. Leap. No. No one around to use that on. That's okay. Got one special attack. Don't waste it. Alright, a lot of evade happening. Get this. Look at that.
Decades of training,
Take care of one of you. If I can keep kills and deaths even, I'm doing far better than in any FPS that I played on a console. So that will make me happy. Yes, fight each other, not me! You do not see me. I am nowhere. I also hit nothing. That evade is only good for 2 seconds. You really have to be careful with it. Because if you just get hooked on jumping onto and off of all of these buildings for no reason at all, you're gonna You're going to be trounced once you actually come across someone. Alright. Let's both be on the same side of the wall, shall we? Yes. What are you shooting at?
Cause keeps me going.
Nothing. Alright, health. Be distracted. Be very distracted. Alright, now this guy... Yeah, he's gonna take me out. Come on. 3 and 3. Feeling good.
No time to rest.
Alright, cannot shoot through anything. Keep in mind, you're automatically going to aim for the nearest enemy, but once you're locked onto him, if someone else walks in between you, you're going to stick to him. So you have to manually change your target from that point. Oh, still third, less than a minute. Gotta keep it up, gotta keep it up. Furiously fast tapping is absolutely necessary. I cannot believe I survived that. Give me that health. Slowly charge over time. Get me up to full. Alright, where'd he go? Where'd he go? Didn't go this way. But I did. And now I've got more than enough health. Have at you! I started with more. I better win. Go, go, go. Well, we kept it close. 7 seconds. Can I cruise into second place here? Okay. Fine, I didn't want a credit for that anyway. Let's see where we are. Yes. Fetch! Gives you a couple seconds to rest your thumbs. Very important. Match results are... Oh my goodness. So I am third. Tanked it. 21 points I lost by. If I had gotten credit for that last kill. Ooh, gold dust. Not sure what that turns into, but yay, gold dust. And then I think we can get another rank, maybe. Oh, if I had second place. Well, that's depressing. Considering the length of the matches, I mean, we can really go on for a long time before that chest opens itself, but, you know, it's worth the wait. Just have to put in the time. Don't spread yourself too thin with all these Angry Birds, Crossy Roads, Clash of Kings, Clash of Clans. Yeah, that's what it is. Try to stick to this one. If you give this game like a solid few hours every other day for like a week, then you can really crank out some good materials. But it's a little slow. I haven't really fought against anyone with a lot of these materials already crafted though, so just have to see. Yep, steel takes as long as plastic. That makes sense. And gems for a fabricator. Yeah, it's communicating because this is in-game currency, and later on, when you're out of these gems, you're going to want to buy more for $1 or more a piece. Not only that, it's not even unlimited use. I can throw my textiles into that second one I just bought, and it only lasts for 6 uses. At 5 minutes a piece. So in a half an hour, you can burn through one of these things. And then it just disappears, and you have to buy it again. Earn the in-game currency. Do not buy the in-game currency. You will thank yourself. Protostrike rounds and stuff like that. So, like, we're going to have a point at the end. Look at that, deal extra damage. So you're going to have actual boosters, mods, whatever, that are going to impact how good you are in the game. That is not aesthetics only. That is buying a leg up. So hopefully they put a leash on that and it is not too pay to win. Alright, now this one we can open right now. Supposing it opens and reveals things. Okay. Components. Protonium, also known as gems. Alright, see how many I get from here. What did I get? 12 on the last one? That was probably from my rank up to rank 2. No, rank 1. So this is... Actually, this is probably from rank 1. Hey, I didn't have to wait for those cases to open, and now I have 29 gems. Alright. A weekly leaderboard. Yeah, no, not getting up there. That's for sure. Going to take a lot of work to get up there, and that's just in the beta client, let alone when it's actually going to go full release. Ah, more things to buy. Lead battery, fire battery. Interesting. So I rank up more. And look at all these fancy cases. 500. Good lord. Alright. Look at the money. Look at that money. You can throw 50 bucks into this if you want to. But you don't want to. Say it with me. You do not want to. Especially in beta. Don't even think about it. Some upgradable characters. Doesn't really matter. I barely see the one I have now. I'm really focused on who's around me. Well, time for what I think. Honestly, I'm impressed. Protostrike doesn't pester you with ridiculous tutorials, it just teaches you the basics. And why shouldn't it? If you're going to succeed here, you have to have strategy. And we're not talking about 15-button combo strategy, we're just talking about when and when not to dodge, shoot, charge, and run away. These concepts, simple as they are, can be tough to master once you've been exposed to the perils of online play, where everyone has the speed and dexterity of a concert pianist. But it can be done. And from the first few matches, you'll be rewarded for your efforts in refinable and craftable materials that you can put to work fairly quickly to get a slight edge on the competition. Now, weapon variety is a little slim, to be honest, but of course we're in beta, and the relatively close quarters inherent in each map make for a pretty well-balanced match no matter which way you prefer to run and gun. Now, one of the more obnoxious parts of the crafting is the time it takes for a chest to open, or for some basic materials to come together. But to be real, it's a necessary evil for level 8 to avoid making Protostrike a total pay-to-win pit of despair. And we've seen where that goes. Not to mention the time flies when you're entrenched in 8-player warfare. Now, there's real progression to be had here as well, with many, many levels to gain, and each bringing its own rewards to boost you to greatness. It wouldn't feel right to say that Protostrike is one-dimensional when it really masters that dimension. You jump in, you shoot, you dodge, you win, or lose, and you go about your day. Protostrike offers depth, personality, rugged cel-shaded graphics, really impressive controls, especially for a beta client. And it can be a time sink if you let it, but it's all for a good cause, and that cause is ruling the online battleground. between new characters, weapons, boosters, and equipment, there are enough well-paced upgrades to keep the more casual gamer wanting more, and great enough heights to reach to satisfy even the self-dubbed pro. The on-screen controls are well done as well, with tightly grouped buttons, a left thumbstick that places itself wherever you happen to place your thumb at the time, and plenty of screen space still devoted to the action.
Keeps me going.
Overall, Protostrike is an intense, rewarding shooter with fantastic amount of depth and a level of sharp, fine-tuned awesomeness that I really haven't experienced on iOS before.
Step at a time.
There's no word on an official release date yet, but we'll let you know. And stay tuned because once you install Protostrike, it's definitely not going anywhere. We would know.
Your death will not be in vain. Too old? I don't think so.
Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time, and feel free to leave a comment to let us know what you'd like to see next.